Some more Ann Arbor for you folks from the story slam entitled Bosses. Allison, Downey. Allison, come on up. Let's go, let's go.
So I'm sitting in the back of my brother's 1973 Dodge Polara. He's speeding, and I'm sitting next to my date, Dan, this really cute guy that I was in the musical Oklahoma with at his all-boys Catholic high school. And we were racing to try to catch the last few minutes of my first high school dance at my all-girls Catholic high school in Georgetown. And that night, I desperately, secretly hoped that Dan would be my boyfriend. I had had a crush on him since we played air hockey together at the Cats party for the fall play. He was so cute, with his Sean Cassidy feathered hair, and he was sweet, and he was shy, he was really subdued. But I was 14, so my MO was that if I really, really liked a guy, I didn't talk to him. So I hardly knew Dan, but I had these great visions for a night. We would dance a slow dance to Lionel Richie's Hello, is it me you're looking for? And then we'd look into each other's eyes and we'd be like, yeah, it's you, and then we'd kiss, and then bingo, he'd be my boyfriend. And now, Dan was kind of out of my league. I wasn't one of the pretty girls with the bows and the bangs and the soccer legs and no braces. But that night, I felt pretty. I had my hair done up in these cute little pin curls and thick stage makeup from Oklahoma. And I had time to take it off, but for some reason, I thought it was really sophisticated. And besides, it covered up Mount Vesuvius, my brand new chin pimple. I had this white cotton dress with satin ribbon and pearls embroidered at the neckline, which was at my neck because it was my 8th grade confirmation dress. And I don't know why I thought it would be appropriate to wear my 8th grade confirmation dress to my first dance, but I did, and I thought I looked really hot. My brother slams on the brakes. Dan and I tumble out. We race up the steps to the gym. There's colored streamers and polo cologne and shout a little bit louder now, shout, which was the last song, because in 1984, Shout is the last song for every high school dance. We had missed Hello. And Dan turns to me and says, you want to see a movie? And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm thinking, a movie, that's so romantic. And then he says, do you want to see Rocky Horror Picture Show? And I'm like, yeah, that's terrific. A horror flick. I get really scared at horror flicks. But I knew nothing about Rocky Horror. And for those of you that might not know anything about Rocky Horror either, it's basically this cult, raunchy, rock opera, Tim Curry's in drag. Let's just say it's not Oklahoma. We head down the cobblestone, we turn the corner, there is this huge line of people dressed up for some transvestite costume party in bras and panties, and they gotta be cold. And this woman comes up to me. She's dressed kind of like me, but she has spikes in her ears and tattoos up her legs, and she says, nice costume. I say, oh, thanks, it's not really a costume. We get our popcorn, we sit down. Dan is so excited that he's twitching. The movie starts. Brad and Janet, who's played by Susan Sarandon, my favorite actress, are getting engaged. It's a romantic comedy. He starts singing to her, damn it, Janet, I love you. And then everybody in the theater sings along, including Dan. They all know the words, but then they change them and they're screaming, damn it, Janet, I want to screw. I'm like, oh, okay. Then Brad's car breaks down. It starts raining, they're getting completely soaked. When the sprinklers in our theater switch on, it starts raining on us. And everybody's got umbrellas and squirt guns. And I'm like, I didn't get the memo, people. My curls melt into this brown mat on my head. And my thick stage makeup runs down my face to my dress. And there's my Mount Vesuvius chin pimple. And my confirmation dress, looks like a watercolor moo-moo. And it is see-through, which is not the point of a confirmation dress. And I try to cover up. I look up at Dan, who is standing up waving a lighter, and I didn't know he smoked. And then on screen, Susan Sarandon, the only person that I can relate to in this whole theater, rips off her blouse, and women all around me are doing the same. They're throwing their shirts at the screen. And for the first time that evening, I didn't want to even try to fit in. I'm just sitting there, marinating in this puddle of my own makeup, completely exposed, in more ways than one, while Dan, adorable, shy Dan, is in the aisle doing the time warp dance with the sweet transvestites from transsexual Transylvania. And I couldn't know then that a few years later, I'd be dancing in the aisle doing the sweet transvestite dance. But that night, on the long, quiet ride home in the back of my brother's 1973 Dodge Polara, I didn't feel so pretty. And I didn't get to dance to Hello. And Dan would not become my boyfriend. Because at 14, he was Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I finally had to admit to myself that I was Oklahoma. Thank you.